What's up, my ladies? What's up, my beautiful diamonds? I think I got a good one for us today. I think it's going to encourage you. I think it's going to enlighten you, and it's going to help tell you a lot more about these crazy men out here. Okay, we do some crazy things. I get it. But before we get into that, make sure if you haven't done so, you go to my website, ChristopherReid.org. I did it backwards this time. Make sure you get the book, The Forbidden Secrets of the Goodie Box, which your father didn't tell you and your mother did not know. Okay, this book will definitely bless you. There's a lot of great relationship information in there, a lot of tips, all of that that will bless you. All right, so today I want to talk about how what men want versus what they need. All right, now a lot of times, ladies, I know that what the things that we say we want, okay, it's very confusing to you. Okay, guys say they want this, but at the same time, when they get it, they don't know how to appreciate it and all of that. Okay, let me adjust my light situation a little bit. Okay, and so you think that we're just talking out the side of our neck. We don't know what we want, and quite honestly, a lot of times guys, well, I put it this way. Guys know what they want, but oftentimes they don't know what they need. Oh, come on, somebody. I'm going to cook it slow. All right, so that is the confusion. Now, oftentimes a guy does not figure out what he needs, in a relationship and from a woman that he's going to spend the rest of his life with until he makes a lot of mistakes. Okay. Until he spends all his time basing or picking the women based off his superficial wants, and just to find out, oh, wait a minute, that ain't what I needed. I needed this. But here's the thing. He oftentimes doesn't figure that out until he actually gets with the one that's different than all the rest. And it brings something totally different out of him. Okay. His desire comes from a whole nother place. Oh, I know I'm talking now. Okay. It's like this. If all you had was burgers, all you did, you ate at McDonald's for every meal. Now, McDonald's has a lot of different burgers on that menu. Okay, now you can get you a cheeseburger, you can get you the infamous Big Mac, you can get you a double quarter pounder, which is one of my favorites. Okay, there's a lot of different burgers that you can have, okay, at McDonald's. Now these are wants. Oh, but when somebody takes you to Ruth Chris, or somebody takes you to Fleming's and you have a steak, you say, now wait a minute, this tastes different than a burger. And you have that, and it's doing something else to your taste buds. Oh, come on, somebody. And you leave Fleming's, Ruth Chris, and you say, I want that again. Oh, it was something. And you thinking about it when you've gone, and you telling people, man, listen, have you ever been to Fleming's, Jack? Listen, you ain't had it, And that is what happens when a man comes in contact with that woman, okay, that's different than all the rest. Okay, and now he realizes, he wakes up as if he's been asleep forever, that this is what I've needed. Okay, and so oftentimes prior to that, our wants are definitely based off of very superficial criteria. Okay, a lot of times it's based off of how things look. Okay, and because hey, we're very visual creatures, and that's what we go off of. We go off of appearances oftentimes. Now, this is not everybody. Sometimes you got guys that get it right out the gate, but I'm just saying, and y'all can attest to this, a lot of guys that y'all have come in contact with, this seems to be the situation, because that's what it is. And another thing, as far as marriage is concerned, okay, marriage for most guys is not the goal. I'm just saying, guys aren't just sitting there wishing and hoping and dreaming about their wedding day. It's just not like that. It's like I said, it's when they come in contact with that steak, that is way beyond what they've ever experienced. Does now marriage seem to be a part of the equation? Because initially, what guys want? They just want to have fun. They just out, hey, I'm just out here having a good time. I'm just enjoying myself. And when they're in that have fun mindset, let me tell you this. The wants basically are based off infatuation. So he's infatuated with what he wants. Okay, but he falls in love with what he needs. Oh, I need y'all to get this on this morning. He falls in love with what he needs. Okay. And it's like this. Another way you can put it is like it's the difference between being with someone versus someone you want to be with. Two totally different worlds. Because most times when they on that have fun stuff and guys just kicking in, they're not thinking about making you happy. That's not the goal. Okay. They may do some things that may seem like it brings about some happiness or some joy in it, but that's not his purpose. That's not his goal. Okay. It's about what he can get out of the situation. Okay. It's very selfish. So he's essentially in hunting mode. Okay. You think about hunting, you think about, a lioness or, the lion, whoever does the hunting in the wild. Okay. Chasing down a prey. Okay, they're not chasing that prey down, that gazelle, so they can have a conversation about what you can do for the gazelle. No, I'm going to consume you for what I want, my personal needs. I'm hungry. Okay, and that's kind of the mindset, when it comes from a dating perspective. All right. Now, let me tell you when it gets interesting though. When the hunter gets captured by the game. Now, there's a song out there titled the same thing. That's where I got it from. Now, when that happens, we got us something now. It's when that hunter consumes that steak. He says, wait a minute. This is something different. I ain't never had this. So let's look at some of the things, some of the areas that are just wants versus needs. Okay. Now, guys will say that I'm looking for perfection. Okay. I'm going to take my text from the book of Boomerang. All right. First verse. Now, Boomerang is the movie with Eddie Murphy. And I love this movie. For some of y'all watching this, maybe you've never heard of it. You're just too young. And you check it out. It's a great relationship movie. Well, if you've seen the movie, that Eddie Murphy was looking for the perfect woman. He had to have the perfect woman because that's what he deserved. Okay. And so he's on this quest and he's dating all these women. And ladies, when this happens, and this is very common for men to do, they are trying to match up reality with their fantasy. Yeah, they have this fantasy, guys watching, music videos and all this stuff. Now, I guess it's Instagram and all this. You see all, and you take different parts of different women and all this type of, and you create this fantasy in your mind that has nothing to do with reality. And it's very selfish. Okay. But he doesn't really think enough to say, I don't even know if this really exists. And if it does, I don't know if I really want it or I've thought past that. This is just what he has in his mind. So this is what he goes out there and he's hunting for. And so we want what we want oftentimes, not who she is. Okay. Oh, now see, you I just said something. We want what we want, but not who she is. So when we see her and we think, she matches up with this fantasy that I've had, that doesn't tell you anything about her. That's external stuff. All right. So let's look at this. Let's look at, women in our culture that, guys have fantasized about for years. You take your Kim Kardashians, you take your Halle Berrys, maybe your Jennifer Lopez's. You look at these women and you look at the relationship track record. If they were so awesome and amazing, I'm not saying they are not. I don't know them. But why is it that their relationships did not work out? Why? Okay. So oftentimes, like I said, if it was all of that, if that's all it took for these men, okay, now like the guys they were with, I don't know their motives, but I'm just talking about these particular women are ones that men have but obviously if it was all of that, their situations would have been so perfect or whatnot. We know otherwise. So what guys have to learn to do is connect beyond the physical. And like I said, this is not something that they're thinking about. They're just kind of like on autopilot. It's really just kind of a physiological just impulse that guys are moving off of. Okay. And so you're talking about the difference between making her happy and impressing her, because you can confuse the two, because you can think that he's doing these things to make me happy. No, he's doing these things oftentimes, if he's just on a fun quest, to entrap you, to get you ensnared, okay, in his trap, so then he can, fulfill whatever his selfish desires are. But, if you benefit from that, he's making me happy. Let me tell you what he did. This is like boomerang. He had that thing. So Eddie Murphy was smooth with it. He was lay that trap out so nice and, lop, gotcha. Okay. And then he's off to the next one. All right. So when a man falls for the woman's representative instead of her, that's when you have these problems. So when the guy falls for her representative, okay, instead of her, then that's when you have these problems, because now you got your proverbial trophy wife, okay? You got that, she's on your arm, and everybody's like, because, there's a level of prestige and ego that goes into this as well with men. But then when you find out that, say that you do fall for her representative and not her, now you find out that she doesn't appreciate you. Oh, you need to be appreciated. Yeah, you might have wanted the trophy, but you need to be appreciated. And you find out that whatever you do, she complains. It's not good enough. Okay, but maybe because you chose a trophy instead of somebody that you connected with on every other level, mentally and emotionally and all of that. She's used to guys just, jumping over hoops and, making a fuss over how she looks. Okay. So there's an expectation there. And so maybe if she doesn't get what she wants, because like I said, you didn't assess enough who you were in a relationship with. So she starts to complain. And now as a guy, you have issues. Oh my God. Okay. So this is what happened, ladies. Then that's when, like I told you in the beginning, after God makes all these mistakes, then he finds out what he needs. All right. And then he said, now it doesn't have to go that far. Like I said, if he comes in contact with that steak after having all these burgers, something goes off. And he's like, because I can hear some of y'all saying, but so you mean tell me he got to go through all of these bad decisions before no, he don't have to. Okay, we're going to get to that. You're going to get to that. So that's one thing he needs. Guys need to be appreciated. I don't care. At the end of the day, he will go be with somebody. You might have seen a guy, you might know a guy, he was with this woman and she was all of this and a bag of chips, in terms of the exterior. And he might have ended up with somebody who was not all of that at all. But you know what? He may have decided to be with her mainly because she appreciated his socks off. And he learned that I need that. Oh, that's like a warm shower to my soul. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so power couple. Some guys, they looking for that, that Jay-Z, Beyonce vibe, going back to the Book of Boomerang. Eddie Murphy, he was looking for that power chick. So when he was, I think her name was Jacqueline, in the movie, okay, so he was the director of marketing. I think she was the VP of marketing. All right, so it was amazing, right? So it looks great on paper. It does. I mean, we got zeros everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We doing it. We balling. She's the power chick. And so guys look at themselves and their own level of prestige and where they're going and what they want to be. And they're like, yeah, that's what I need in my life, or what I want. And what he doesn't realize oftentimes, because he didn't get beyond just that surface, she got a mouth on her. Ooh, listen, when I tell you she can cut you and just, now it was cool, what I'm saying? We suited and booted. But when, we behind closed doors and you talking to me like you crazy. Okay, and you cutting me down and disrespecting me. Now that power couple stuff don't mean nothing. Okay, when she giving you all that masculine energy and you don't know if she the man or you the man. Okay, some days we're not sure. Okay, everything's a fight. Everything's a fight, and you like now. Wait a minute. See, that's when he finds out. Another need. He needs to be respected. He has to feel respected. And he did not realize, until this moment, that the need to be respected was so paramount. Okay, it overshadowed all that power couple stuff. All right, and so when we look at a king and a queen, okay, That queen, she's powerful too. Okay, but that there's no, confusing of the roles. Okay, she's powerful, he's powerful. She respects the king. He respects the queen. Okay, they both right there. Another one, virtuous woman. Okay, we read in scriptures, Proverbs. She was doing a lot of things. She was making things happen. Okay, but you could see the respect that her husband had for her, and you could tell the respect and love that she had for her family. All right. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the power couple thing, but if that's the only criteria that the guy is using, okay, to make his decision, he's going to have him jacked up every time. So I just want y'all to be clear how guys tend to, formulate their decisions. All right. And I know for y'all like, it's crazy, he's stupid, and he's all this kind of stuff, and guys be talking, but it's not just that guys inherently want to do stupid stuff just for the sake of doing stupid stuff. Some might, I don't know. But logically, that's not oftentimes how it happens. Because here, think about this. We as men, you don't want us to fall in love with every woman we come across. You don't want that. So, in other words, you want there has to be a woman that he wants to make happier than he wants to make other women happy. You know what I'm saying? So, that one that stands out. Like, I was trying to impress these women, but I want to make her happy. Just like for you as women, there has to be that guy that makes you feel so special, that looks at you every time like you're the only woman on the planet, like you're the only woman in the room. When he looks at you, everybody else, it just seems like they disappear. Okay, that's the guy that you want to be with, that makes you feel that way. So that's the magical connection that we want to have, right? So it makes sense how God wired a guy to forsake all others for that one that he discovered. She's the stake, okay? Everything else now pales in comparison, because my only goal is to win her over and make her happy the rest of my days. All right. So moving on. Now, some guys, talking about wants, some guys may think they want a sex goddess. Yeah. Some guys may think they want somebody where 30 times a day, whatever, some ridiculous number they going in, and this is what they base the decision off of to move forward. Okay, I understand that, you being married and whatnot, hopefully that's a part of, what you're doing, how you putting it down. But in these situations, when this is the only want that he's thinking about, he don't have nothing else in common. It's physical chemistry, period. Okay, when she comes out of the bedroom, can she string a sentence together? Just saying, is she going to be able to meet other criteria? Well, maybe there was no other criteria. Okay. And it's not until he realizes that he's made this huge mistake, that he's based everything on this one little superficial thing, that he realized, what else I know? I need a friend. I was told one time that your friend can become your lover, but your lover can't become your friend. Because if you want to base this relationship solely initially off sex and now we're going to try to get off into the friendship piece, well, you might not be somebody I want to be friends with. Okay. And so that's why we want to start friendship, making sure we got some things in common and we can really connect with each other. And then it can blossom into, that can expand into other areas. Because the guy needs, once a woman, he realizes, I need somebody with a brain. I need a companion. I need somebody when I don't really know what to do and I need to bounce something off somebody. She's like, I don't know. I know. You want somebody to say, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay, here's what I think you should do. Blah, blah, yeah, like, yeah, babe. I was thinking about that. That's why I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you complete me and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's what he realizes that he needs. So, here's a question then that I have to ask you. How are you presenting yourself? Ladies, how are you presenting yourself? Like I said, we talked about burgers. We talked about steaks. Now I can tell you already you're a steak. That goes without saying. Where's my infamous logo symbol for the woman? You the diamond. I know this about you, and I don't have to know you, but you might not know that you're a steak. You might not know that you're top shelf. Or let me say this, you might not know it, and you might not be presenting yourself like you are top shelf. Okay? You might not be presenting yourself like you're the diamond. Okay? Because this is a rock. Nothing looks real special about it. This is a rock. Okay? This looks a little bit different than this. All right? And some of you are presenting yourself like this. Some of you don't know that you are more than this. Some of you don't know this. So with that being said, a guy is not going to say, oh, I absolutely love not feeling appreciated. I love being disrespected. I mean, really, she talks to me like crap. And every time she does, it just brings me such joy. No guy is going to say that, because no guy wants to feel unappreciated. Nobody wants to be disrespected. So I'm telling you, because you could tend to feel like, okay, he wants all this superficial stuff, so what about me that has standards? I told you, when you know who you are and you present yourself in that manner, that'll stop a guy dead in his tracks. Dead in his tracks. But oftentimes, and we talk about it all the time, that fear will cause you to present yourself this way instead of this way. Okay? And so you have a prime opportunity oftentimes to make that love connection, all right, if you're compatible on every level, but that fear of, what if he leaves? So let me do some things that's going to present me like I'm just a regular burger, okay, to try to keep him, all right, instead of presenting myself in a way that, and out of my integrity and out of my self-love and out of knowing who I am. Okay. And as I do every week, I'm going to tell you, if you're having trouble with this, get at me. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a free consult. Let's figure this out. I'm going to help you out. All right. I'm going to help you identify what's blocking you from realizing that you're this and presenting yourself this way instead of this way. All right. And then we're going to put you on a coaching plan that's going to help you get there. Okay. Because there's no reason for you to be out here wasting a bunch of time presenting yourself in the wrong way. When there are guys out here, like I said, and that's the deception, and that's part of the confusion for women, is because that guy that seems like he's not serious and he doesn't want to be with, a woman, and make a real commitment. He just hasn't had steak yet. He just has not had steak yet. Okay. So guarantee, I talk to a lot of men, and I'm a man. Okay. Because trust me, when I met my wife, I was not, the last thing on my mind was getting married. Okay. And that was 23 years ago. All right. So listen, like I said, if you need help, make sure you just get at me. And hey, here's another thing. I'm going to do I know you heard me talking about the group coaching. Going to do that again. I'm offering a special. It's going to be $99 for the month. That's going to be for 3 months. So some of you I already talked to. I need to do it that way to help some of you out, because I know a lot of you have wanted to do it. And I got women clients, I got ballers, CEOs, all that kind of stuff. And I got women that, that's not where they are, but at the same time, everybody needs the help. So I'm, trying to accommodate everybody. So like I said, $99.99, that's going to be, I think I'll have that offer out there for, I don't know, maybe next 2 weeks. And for those of you who are interested, get at me, let me know. And we're going to do this thing. It's the group coaching. It's still the you, your boo to I do. And yeah, so anyway, I'm about to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got what you needed out of it. Like I said, make sure, get the book, Forbidden Secrets, or the goodie box that your father didn't tell you and your mother didn't know. It definitely will bless you. Make sure you listen for me on Lexi's radio show. And that's normally I do it every Thursday. That's SGN The Light. And hey, listen, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Peace.